Okay, my name is Mackenzy. I am a runner. I've been a runner for um, a long time, probably 10 plus years. Most recently, over the last 4 years, I've gotten into trail and ultra running. I am a UESCA certified ultra running coach. I work with a variety of clients that are interested in trail running as well as ultra running. That's my main area of focus. I love being on the trails and running, and I am currently working towards a 50 miler that I'm going to be running in Colorado later this summer, and then 100K out in the Franklin Mountains of El Paso. And I will be running my first 100 miler next year at the Leadville 100. So that's some of my background. I am just excited to kind of share some areas to get started for people that are interested in running. There's a lot of really good health benefits associated with it. You have a lower heart rate in general. It improves your overall cardiovascular health. That's why it's called cardio. It helps build strong bones. It helps improve your sleep. It can help with weight loss as well. It probably shouldn't be the main focus if you're trying to start running, but there's a lot of other benefits. You can talk to your doctor. I'm not a physician. I'm not a medical professional at all. I'm just somebody who loves running and has been doing it for a long, long time. So some of the ways to get started is just to start running, honestly. It's as simple as that. Everybody is a runner, I believe. If you don't have to be taught how to run. Everybody just knows instinctively how to run. You just move your feet faster. Seems simple, but it can be really intimidating for some people. So I kind of want to break down some ways to get started. Really some of the things to think about are just focusing on more of interval style running. So you can walk for 2 minutes and then run for 3 minutes, or find something along those lines. Give yourself time goals when you're first starting out, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, building up from there. Don't focus on distance so much, or your pace at all. None of that matters. If you run, you're a runner, and you don't need to get caught up in trying to get some kind of distance goal or anything when you're just starting. It's fun also to kind of set some goals for yourself. So if you've always thought about running a 5K or even a half marathon or marathon, that can be a really fun goal to set, but just be realistic about it. And you can work with a coach, or you can just do it yourself. A lot of people run self-trained, and I did that for a lot of years. I have a coach right now myself. With a lot of the goals I have long term, I like working with a coach personally. And ideally, when you are starting, you don't want to do too much too quickly. You want to start small and work your way up towards those goals. Ideally, if you're starting 10 minutes, maybe 4 times a week, go add one day 15 minutes, and then have that be your longest run for maybe 2 weeks, and then maybe back down a bit, and then build back up, and you could add 20 minutes at some point. But there's no reason to try to start and go full steam. I think it can really make you burned out, and it can lead to some injury issues that you want to avoid. So some of the things to remember is to breathe. Seems kind of intuitive, but you just want to make sure that you're breathing deeply and you're standing upright when you're doing that. Don't pound on your feet as much. Try to keep your feet light and quick. And then just focus on, sometimes it's fun to, when you're first starting out, or even I'll do this sometimes when I'm running, just to find a goal out in the distance. It could be a lamppost, it could be a tree, it could be something. And then I run to that, and then I find another one, and I run to the next one, just to kind of keep my mind engaged. Because sometimes, honestly, running can feel pretty boring. But there's something really therapeutic about it. There's something that really helps. It can be a really good stress reliever. It can be a really good source of community also. There's a lot of really great running groups in Midland and just across the country that have lots of members of varying abilities, people who've been running for 20 years, people who have been running for 20 days. But you can usually find a group local to you and then meet up together and do some runs and have just make it fun. And so you also need to be sure that you are drinking enough water while you're running. If you're running in anything over 80 degrees and more than 30 minutes, you should probably bring some water with you and just drink while you're running. In any race that you run, there's usually aid stations along the way, and that's the whole purpose, is to be sure that you're hydrated or eating enough, you have enough energy to finish the race. But that's something that you can practice while you're training also. It's not something that you just need to do on race day. There's a lot of different things out there that companies are trying to sell, and companies are, do this and you'll run faster, or do this and buy this product. And a lot of that's just really good marketing. Some of it is really actually helpful. I use a product called Tailwind that is high carb based powder that you add to your water that also has electrolytes in it. So for these longer distances, you want to be sure you're getting in enough calories and your electrolytes as well. And so those products are really, really easy to pick up. But then you can also, there's a company called Noon that has some little tablets that are electrolytes that you can add to your water that are just really helpful to have. And then honestly, I would recommend stretching after you run, just to try to keep your mobility in check. Strength training is also really important, but a lot of that you can do just on a smaller scale. When you're starting out, there's no reason to try to do everything at once. Pick a small goal and work towards that, and then accomplish that goal and move on to another goal. And then you can also, another thing that you want to do is be sure you have good running shoes. You can usually go down to a local running shoe store. So Midland has a local store called Midland Athletic Company. I know the owner over there, he's a really great guy, and he has a lot of knowledge with running shoes and how your feet fit in the different running shoes. And honestly, the best way to pick them is just to try on several and see which one fits best, which one's more comfortable. There's a brand called Hoka that has really cushioned shoes that are really comfortable. There's some brands, there's Ultra that focuses on a wider toe box and a zero drop shoe. New Balance, Nike, Under Armour. I mean, there's lots of different shoe brands out there, but just find a shoe that works for you. And ideally, you don't want to put more than 300 miles on your shoes. I don't follow that rule all the time. I replace my shoes sooner sometimes or later, depending on different things. But yeah, the best thing about just start running is just to start running. There are lots of groups here in Midland. There's Midland Run Crew. There are the West Texas Gazelles. There's a group in Midland and in Odessa. And they post their weekly runs on Facebook. You can reach out to them and get some advice or ask, how to get started. And there's a lot of really helpful people that like working with new runners, and I'm in both of those groups also, and I can definitely reach out and help you if you're interested. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have. So just start running.